Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. As we look at Luke chapter 22, we need to remember and get the setting behind this chapter as far as what was happening in Jerusalem in the week of Passover, what we call Passion Week. Jesus came into Jerusalem on Sunday, Palm Sunday we call it, riding on the donkey and being acclaimed by the people that he was the king, that he was Hosanna to the highest, the Son of David, the Messiah. And so there was tremendous excitement this week in Jerusalem as the Passover is taking place. It's Passover week. 100,000 plus, maybe 300,000 or more Jewish pilgrims have come to the city. They have been looking for Messiah now for centuries, and they're expecting possibly that Jesus, who is doing these miracles, Jesus, who is proclaimed himself to be the Messiah. John the Baptist had proclaimed that he would be the Messiah, and many had repented and followed John the Baptist. John the Baptist was killed, and now here's Jesus Christ in Jerusalem on this week. The Jews are excited. The Romans are scared. They are thinking, oh goodness, this might be a time of an uprising. And it probably is the reason why Pilate and Herod are both in Jerusalem. Normally Herod would be at Caesarea in his palace there, and Pilate would be up at Tiberias where he'd be relaxing, these Roman rulers over Jerusalem at the time and over the Jews at the time. And yet they were in Jerusalem knowing that the could be a riot, there could be an uprising. And it's a very electric time that's taking place. And Judas now, as in the first verses, has gone to the chief priest and gone to the elders and the scribes, the Pharisees, the religious leaders, and made a deal with them to betray Jesus and do it secretly, because they are, of course, afraid that if they do it openly, the people will have a major issue with it. And they know also they need the Romans to be involved, and then it'll look like the Romans are the ones that put Christ to death and not the religious leaders. They're already having problem with their integrity and accountability, and also people trusting them, especially with Jesus already putting them down and calling them publicly a bunch of hypocrites. So you can just get the excitement of the day, and you come to verse 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And of course, we believe with the Jewish day starting in the evening, that this is Thursday day that Jesus is talking about here, Luke is talking about. And Jesus sent Peter and John, saying, "Go and prepare the Passover for us, that we may eat." You need to understand, Jesus already, he knew who Judas was. He knew from the very beginning Judas was a thief. Judas was going to betray him. Jesus knew all these things, and he knew Judas had already gone to the chief priest and betrayed him. Already Jesus knew about these things, and Jesus knew a plot was underfoot to have him crucified. He knew, because that's why he came to Jerusalem. He knew what awaited him there. And so he sends John and Peter kind of secretly, to be honest with you, because Judas, if he knew about it, maybe he would have had the people come to arrest Jesus in the upper room. And so nobody knows about it but John and Peter. And so he said to them, they said to him, "Where do you want us to prepare?" And he said to them, "Behold, when you've entered the city, a man will meet you carrying a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house where he enters." And that's interesting too, because normally men wouldn't be carrying a pitcher of water. It would have been the women. And so seeing a man carrying a pitcher of water would have been, wow, okay, that's the guy. And he must have been a believer. And you'll say to the master of the house, he said, "The teacher says to you, where is the guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples?" So we believe this fellow was already a believer and already had been preparing for the Passover. "He'll show you a large furnace upper room. There make ready." So they went and found it just as he had said to them, and they prepared the Passover They went and got the Passover lamb and purchased it. They took it back to the chief priest. They had it sacrificed, had it roasted, and then they're waiting there in that upper room on Thursday evening now for Jesus and the rest of the disciples to come. And so you get the picture. Jesus knows what's going on, and he still gives his life as a ransom for you and me. Oh, what a Savior. What a Savior. God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day.